The Buddha was known for his wisdom and teachings on suffering. And one of the most challenging questions he was asked was why bad things happen to good people. Many people struggle to reconcile their belief in a just world with the reality of suffering and injustice. One day, a man approached the Buddha and asked, "Why do bad things happen to good people? Why do we suffer when we are trying to do the right thing?" The Buddha paused for a moment, taking in the man's question, and replied, "Imagine you are walking through a forest and you come across a tree that is covered in thorns. The thorns are sharp and painful, and you try to avoid them, but you still get pricked. Are the thorns evil?" The man thought for a moment and replied, "No, the thorns are not evil. They are just a part of the tree." The Buddha nodded and continued, "In the same way, suffering is a part of life. It is not caused by some external force, but rather it is a natural part of the world. Just as the thorns on the tree protect the tree from animals that would harm it, suffering can help us grow and learn. It can teach us empathy, compassion, and resilience." The man listened intently, but he still had questions. "But what about when we suffer because of someone else's actions? What about when we are innocent victims of someone else's cruelty?" The Buddha replied, "When someone harms us, it is like throwing a hot coal at us. If we don't let go of the coal, it will continue to burn us. Similarly, if we hold on to our anger and resentment towards those who have harmed us, we will continue to suffer. But if we can let go of our anger and cultivate compassion, we can transform our suffering into something positive. We can learn to forgive and move on." The man nodded, but he still seemed unsure. "But what about when bad things happen to children? They haven't done anything wrong. How can they learn from their suffering?" The Buddha replied, "Children are not immune to suffering, but they are often more resilient than we give them credit for. They are also often more open to learning from their experience. Just as seeds needs the darkness of the soil to grow, children can use their suffering as a way to cultivate their wisdom and compassion. We may not always understand why things happen, but we can trust that there is a purpose to our suffering, even if we don't see it right away." The man was silent for a moment, and then he bowed to the Buddha. "Thank you, teacher. Your wisdom has given me much to ponder." The Buddha smiled and replied, "Remember, suffering is not the end of the story. There is always the possibility of transformation and growth. Keep an open mind and an open heart, and you will find the way through even the darkest of times." The man walked away feeling lighter and more at peace. The Buddha's words had helped him to see that suffering was not a punishment, but rather an opportunity for growth and transformation. He knew that the path would not always be easy, but he felt more helpful and more inspired to continue on his journey.